think about where we were a month ago. And I think that is something that, potentially people are losing sight of, is that at that time, it was a countrywide shutdown. And now when things are starting to look at like they're going to reamp up, this is when the government now probably has to change a posture and look at it and say, look, this is what the program was then. If now it looks like provinces are starting to restart their economy, then they may have to possibly rein things in. But the Prime Minister said, look, people needed it, so we gave it, and this is who we are as a country.
Okay. Michael Couture from Ottawa, thank you so much. And just to recap for everyone at home, the Prime Minister spoke about provinces reopening, saying we're not out of the woods. Regardless of where you live, you should be staying home as much as possible. Also help coming for small business owners. The Prime Minister announced an agreement's being reached with the provinces for commercial rent relief. So rent is going to be lowered by 75% for small and medium-sized businesses in the months of April, May, and June. The federal government will cover 50%, while the property owner will cover the other 25%. More information on globalnews.ca, and a reminder of the Global News stream for tonight's vigil at 6 p.m. Atlantic time. Good afternoon. I'm Farah Nasser, and this is the news at noon. We are going to begin in Nova Scotia, where we are now getting a better picture of the horrific shooting spree that claimed the lives of 22 victims. The RCMP held a press conference late this morning to release details and a timeline of the deadly attack. Ashley Field joins us now live from Halifax with the very latest. Ashley, what was said?
Yes, hi Farah, that's right. So today we learned a very detailed account of what exactly happened over the span of more than 13 hours here in Nova Scotia over the weekend. RCMP released a map and a timeline which shows 3 main clusters of mass destruction. One in the Portapique area, where they found multiple victims and burned homes. Another north to the Wentworth and DeBert area. That's where he killed several more people and set a house on fire there. And then south to the Shubenacadie area, and that's where he killed even more people, including Constable Heidi Stevenson. So today we learned that when RCMP first arrived in Portapique Saturday night, they found a man with a gunshot wound. Now, he told officers he was shot by a man driving what appeared to be a police vehicle. RCMP say they learned early on who the gunman could be, 51-year-old Gabriel Wortman, and that he had multiple replica police vehicles, 2 of which were on fire, and a third was at his home in the Halifax area. But it wasn't until a key witness, his girlfriend, who had been assaulted that night, emerged from the woods at around 7 o'clock Sunday morning. They learned there was a 4th replica vehicle in his possession and that he had multiple guns and an authentic police uniform. Here's more from RCMP.
I've been a police officer for almost 30 years now, and I can't imagine any more horrific set of circumstances when you're trying to search for someone that looks like you. The dangers that causes, the complications that causes. That obviously was an advantage that the suspect had on the police, that he had on the public, that he had on every person that he encountered through the course of his rampage.
So we know that RCMP knew this information early on, that he had the police replica vehicles and the uniform, but the RCMP did not tweet out this information to the public until nearly 3 hours later, after 10 a.m. on Sunday. And tragically, by that time, he had already used his disguise to pull people over and shoot them. Now, RCMP did confirm earlier reports by Global News that this could have all began after an argument with his girlfriend, but they're not ruling out that some of these attacks were premeditated. Police are still trying to piece together his whereabouts during this time on the weekend, including what he was doing from the time of the first attack Saturday night in Portapique to nearly 11 hours later at his next attacks in Wentworth.
All right, Ashley Field, just so horrific. You said pulling people over and then shooting them, them thinking they're being pulled over by a law enforcement officer. Thank you for your coverage. That is Ashley Field, again, reporting from Halifax. This is a virtual vigil that's being held tonight to honor the victims of the Nova Scotia tragedy. Organizers say it's going to showcase political, musical, and spiritual components, and we are going to be streaming it. Global News will be streaming the 2-hour ceremony. It begins at 6 Eastern. It's going to be on YouTube, Facebook, and on globalnews.ca. We turn now to the very latest on the COVID-19 pandemic. Here is a look at the current number of infections across our country. Take a close look. There are almost 43,000 cases in Canada. And what I want you to look at is Quebec, because it still has more than half of the country's infections, sitting at just under the 22,000 mark. Ontario has now recorded more than 13,500 confirmed cases, 640 new cases today alone. In Canada, more than 2,100 people are now known to have died of COVID-19. The Prime Minister just wrapped up his daily address outside Rideau Cottage, and today he announced significant relief to help businesses that right now can't afford to pay rent.
We've reached agreements with all provinces and territories to lower rent by 75% for small businesses that have been strongly affected by COVID-19 for April, May, and June. The government will cover 50% of that reduction, with the property owner covering the rest. Helping Canadians right across the country get through this pandemic is not just about generosity, it's about making sure that we are able to do the things necessary in every home across the country to be able to keep this country safe and to make sure we have an economy that can rebuild quickly afterwards. This government will help Canadians who need help, period.
That response, by the way, coming from a question that was asked about whether people would take advantage, or if he's concerned about people taking advantage of the CERB. With more on the Prime Minister's announcement, we're going to bring in our Eric Sorensen. This looks like some good news for suffering small businesses to start.
Yeah, and not a minute too soon for many of them. They would have liked this to actually have been maybe announced a month ago, though the Canadian Federation of Independent Business says thank you for making it retroactive to the beginning of April, because this program will take place and will provide financial support for April, May, and June, and possibly beyond that. Essentially, it is a kind of a loan program. It will cover 75%, reduce the rental costs by 75%, so the renter will, or the business will have 25% to pay still, the landlord 25%, and the federal and provincial governments will share the other 50%, the lion's share of that being from the federal government. The NDP's concern is that saying like it doesn't cut it because these businesses don't need to take on any more debt, so there's that concern. But as I say, the CFIB was pleased that it was retroactive. It says that 70% of their small businesses pay rent, and that about half of those weren't in a position to pay their next month's rent, which is only a few days away. So they're pleased with that, and they say this will apply to small businesses with rents under $50,000. And the Prime Minister suggested there will be more to announce for larger businesses in the days ahead.
Eric, the other thing that you're looking at the numbers of cases across the country. We just showed a map of that. And he also talked about federal coordination as some provinces talk about reopening the economy slowly and make plans for that.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge has always been, how do you have a country as broad as ours is, with populations that are clustered in some places and not in others? You were able, at the very beginning of this program, all to the credit of everyone involved, to get all of the provinces, the federal government, as municipalities, all levels, all political stripes, to say, let's move in the same direction. Everybody stay home, and let's see if we can start to make a change here. But the pressures, the financial pressures are mounting, and you can't see necessarily that you're going to have a one-size-fits-all forever. And so with Saskatchewan, they only have very few cases, like 2 cases per 100,000 over the last 10 days or so. And they're saying, look, we have this contained a little bit. We can start to open up our economy. Now, that may not be the same for, Toronto, for example. It has its own plans, and so there's still going to be restrictions in some places, and some governments and some public health officials just have a different view of like how far you can push, because British Columbia is also having a good time, like Saskatchewan is, in terms of bringing its numbers down. But its public health officials are saying, look, we don't want to change what we're doing yet. So you're beginning to see a little bit of a fraying between the various positions of different governments that are faced with this challenge kind of mounting in different ways.
Yeah, tough questions ahead. And the Prime Minister also pointed to Singapore, to Japan, to South Korea, where we've seen, a bit of a resurgence in cases, in some cases. Eric, thanks so much. That's Eric Sorensen reporting live from Toronto. Ontario Premier Doug Ford's mother-in-law has tested positive for COVID-19. The 95-year-old is at a residence. It's called the West Park Long-Term Care Home in Etobicoke. 13 people have died there after contracting the virus. The news was confirmed by the Premier's office shortly after Ford became quite emotional while discussing the situation in long-term care homes.
I relate to it in our own family, as I mentioned, with my wife Carla. Anyways, the system, we can do better.
Ford says his government has taken action to address the spread of the virus in long-term care homes. We can also tell you that military vehicles have arrived at Altamont Care Community in Toronto's East End this morning. It's one of 5 homes experiencing outbreaks in Ontario. The Ontario government has asked for assistance. Canadian Armed Forces members are also going to be deployed at Orchard Villa in Pickering, Eatonville in Etobicoke, Hawthorne Place in North York, and Brampton's Holland Christian Homes Grace Manor. In Quebec, up to 80% of COVID-19 deaths are now happening in seniors' homes, but COVID-19 symptoms are not the only reason long-term care facilities are being forced to send their residents to hospital emergency rooms. Dr. Vin Kim Win works at the Jewish General Hospital. He says the hospital's been seeing a disturbing trend. Because of massing staffing shortages in long-term care residents, some facilities are sending patients to the hospital simply because they just can't provide basic needs for them, like feeding and hydrating.
We're seeing more and more patients who are coming from, and not exclusively, but coming from old age homes, nursing homes, and of course CHSLD, so the long-term care facilities. What was striking is that most of them were coming in with dehydration, hypernatremia, which is a high blood sodium, renal failure, and some of them were actually not sick from COVID. They didn't have fever, they weren't having breathing difficulties, but they were sick because they were dehydrated.
And speaking of government choices, there's talk now in Quebec of sending the kids back to school. Raquel Fletcher joins me now from Quebec City. Raquel, the Premier is tossing the term herd immunity around. And I know that in Quebec, it's very different depending on where you live in terms of caseload.
Yeah, that's right, Farah. As we've mentioned before, obviously Montreal is the epicenter. Other regions in Quebec seem to be doing better. But the question here, according to the Premier, is, it's going to take a year or more to develop a vaccine, then to be able to administer it to the entire population. And so what is the alternative? Do we stay hunkered down in our homes for 1 or 2 years possibly? Or do we slowly try to introduce the population to get them into contact with the virus in order to build up a community or a natural immunity? And now that we're on that downward trend of the curve, and that means that we can gradually start opening the economy, that's why the Premier is talking about this. Now, public health estimates that currently there is less than 10% of the population immunized right now, and that would need to be around 60 to 80% or even higher in the case of COVID-19 in order for us to rest easy that we are able to protect the most vulnerable in society. Now, you mentioned kids going back to school. Well, the Premier says he's going to table a plan for that famous gradual reopening. Next week, we're expecting something similar to what the province of Saskatchewan has already announced with different phases. However, he has already said that he wants kids to go back to school before the end of this school year. He says it won't be mandatory for parents to send their kids back to school, but still you can imagine that this isn't sitting easy with a lot of parents who say, hey, are we using our kids as guinea pigs? And the Premier is unequivocal about that. He says that is absolutely not what Quebec is doing.
What I'm trying to explain, that it's a lot better to reopen gradually than to send 1 million kids at the same time in September with the flu and all the possibility of having a greater wave in September.
Now, the other controversial part of building up a collective or herd immunity is whether or not people who come into contact with the virus stay immunized. The coronavirus is not like measles, where you get it once and then you're immunized for mostly for the rest of your life. It's more like the flu, and we know that you can get the flu or a similar flu multiple times. So in order to really know what is going to happen with COVID-19, there's going to have to be more research done, and the province is going to really have to ramp up antibody testing. We've heard a little bit about that in the daily press conferences, but we're still waiting for the details of that plan. Farah?
Yeah, and we know that could take weeks, if not months, even though $1.1 billion being invested as of yesterday, or that's the plan at least. Thanks, Raquel. That's Raquel Fletcher joining us from Quebec City. Anthony Farnell now with your first look at the weather forecast. Anthony.
All right, we've made it to Friday. Congratulations. It's actually the warmest day of the entire week, and this afternoon we will be into the double digits, getting up to 10 or 11 degrees here in Toronto, and then it starts to cool down 2 degrees by 7 a.m. tomorrow. Winds are also lighter. They're from the east, and they're going to switch around to the north later tonight. That's for the city of Toronto, surrounding areas, Hamilton. Meanwhile, Peterborough, also the warmest day, 11 degrees under cloudy skies. A few sunny breaks developing late this afternoon or evening, and then below freezing again tonight. Now for Montreal, it was sunny yesterday. Today, partly cloudy, 10 degrees at 5 p.m. dropping down close to 0 overnight tonight, and we are expecting another pleasant day tomorrow. There is a system, we're tracking it for Sunday, but not everyone is going to see rain. The latest on that coming up.
All right, thank you, Anthony. Toronto Scotiabank Arena, home to the Raptors. It's been quiet for weeks since all sporting events and concerts were postponed or canceled, but the building is used now to feed thousands of people. So a plan is in motion to put it to good use. Camille Kermali has more.
Scotiabank Arena, known for hosting playoff series winning goals and buzzer-beating performances, has been quiet in the past month, but is reopening temporarily as a massive kitchen. Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment is preparing 10,000 meals right on the floor of the giant arena, all of it going to frontline healthcare workers and their families later today. The food will also be serviced up to the city's most vulnerable through community agencies and shelters. Now, the MLSE president said it was looking for something the company could do while the major league seasons are at a standstill. The project started off with about 3,000 meals and has been climbing since. Some of that food includes 5,000 pounds of pasta, 17,000 liters of chili, and 1,700 pounds of chicken legs. It took 20 chefs and another 50 helpers to put the meals together. The company's planning on having the kitchen up and running until at least the end of June, where they'll be creating thousands of meals per day. Political figures like Premier Doug Ford and Toronto Mayor John Tory will be taking part in the meal handout, which begins at 3 p.m. today. Back over to you.
Thanks, Camille. There's a lot more to come on the news at noon. Stay with us.
Heart health is key for me and my family. We choose Weber Naturals Omega-3 to help support heart health. Plus, they use a special clear enteric soft gel that guarantees no fishy aftertaste, no fishy burps, no aftertaste. That's better with Weber.
Lost your job or been temporarily laid off due to COVID-19? You have rights. You may be owed compensation beyond employment insurance or government benefits. If your job security has been affected by COVID-19, you must act now. Visit employmentlawyer.ca.
Help stop the spread of COVID-19. Everyone who can needs to stay home. Don't put others at risk. COVID-19 can be deadly. Stop the spread. Stay at home. Learn more at ontario.ca/coronavirus.
Hey, honey, can you give me a hand?
Yep.
Never mind. I got it.
PlayOLG's online casino has all your favorite jackpot slots and table games like blackjack and roulette. It's big time fun.
Nice.
Your casino's ready. Register now at playolg.ca and get a $30 sign-up bonus.
the new series that goes inside the COVID-19 pandemic, from the front lines to the everyday heroes helping us cope with the unprecedented change. Coronavirus, the new reality. A Global News special, Sundays at 7 on Global.
Could you use $20,000, $30,000, or even $300,000? With a home equity loan from Capital Direct, the money that you could really use right now is a simple phone call away. Call 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL.
CapitalDirect.ca. I feel so good when I start my morning with Weber Naturals Most Complete Multi. Just one easy-to-swallow capsule provides the recommended daily vitamins that you might be missing. So you can feel good about your choice too with Weber Naturals Most Complete Multi.
Let's go, we gotta go!
All new 911, Monday on Global.
Europe's first human trial for the coronavirus vaccine is underway in the United Kingdom. Researchers at Oxford University say they're confident about the vaccine's success and hope to have 1 million doses produced by September. Ian Lee has the details from London.
It's the latest shot at creating a vaccine against the coronavirus.
So I need a scratch.
Elise Granado volunteered to go first in this Oxford University study.
I felt like this is a very easy way for me to support the cause.
800 people are taking part in this experiment.
You ready?
Human trials can often take years to get underway. In this case, it took just 3 months.
I think you can never fully exclude any sort of potential risk, but I think you have to, walk in faith in these things.
Roughly 100 potential vaccines are in development worldwide, but only 5 are advanced enough for human trials. Professor Sarah Gilbert predicts this vaccine has an 80% chance of working and could be ready as early as September.
Well, personally, I have a high degree of confidence about this vaccine because it's technology that I've used before.
Okay. Cool.
But for a vaccine to work, the volunteers need to be exposed to the virus. Not an easy feat when the UK is under lockdown. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Help stop the spread of COVID-19. Everyone who can needs to stay home. Don't put others at risk. COVID-19 can be deadly. Stop the spread. Stay at home. Learn more at ontario.ca/coronavirus. Help stop the spread of COVID-19. Avoid local travel. Exceptions are groceries, prescriptions, and medical appointments. COVID-19 can be deadly. Stop the spread. Stay at home. Learn more at ontario.ca/coronavirus.
Could you use $20,000, $30,000, or even $300,000? With a home equity loan from Capital Direct, the money that you could really use right now is a simple phone call away. Call 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL.
CapitalDirect.ca.
You can learn a lot from your little voice.
Being self-employed, coverage was never really a priority, but my little voice kept telling me to make it one. So I signed up to Manulife Cover Me for great health and dental coverage with Manulife Vitality to earn rewards for doing things that can help make us healthier, like seeing a doctor. We earn points just for passing health checks.
Your cholesterol's a little high, but this will help.
Good thing our prescriptions are covered. Now we're taking care of all sorts of things we'd put on the back burner, like our teeth. We grind them in our sleep. So regular checkups are important to us. You wouldn't happen to have anything smaller, would you, Doc? Manulife Vitality's been a great addition to our coverage, too. Now we live healthier, get rewarded, and save money on insurance. We even joined the gym because of it. And got an Apple Watch so I can track my activity and all the Vitality points I earn. I'm good.
When it comes to coverage, it pays to listen to your little voice. Call 1-877-COVER-ME or visit coverme.com today.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you in part by Claritin. Get 24-hour allergy symptom relief with just one pill from the #1 non-drowsy over-the-counter brand. Live Claritin Clear.
All right, let's take a look at your forecast. It is, after all, almost the weekend. For many, there isn't much difference anymore between a weekday and, say, Saturday or Sunday, but I am happy to say that some of the best weather of the entire week will fall on Saturday. So let's take a look on this Friday, now noon hour. 8 degrees in Toronto, London at 8, 9 in Buffalo. It's still chilly. Places like Muskoka holding on 2 degrees. There's been snow for much of the week. That is now melting, thankfully, and that temperature will rebound even in some of those cooler locations, although a bit slower the areas that have the thick cloud cover, and we're seeing a few breaks develop around the GTA. We're seeing that also along the shoreline of Lake Erie. Windsor has been in and out of the sun, and it's completely sunny in Montreal, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, and North Bay. There's a small pocket of rain and even some wet snow. Algonquin Park headed towards Petawawa. That is going to dissipate this afternoon as this system moves towards Atlantic Canada. So we get a break. We get into some clearing tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. Enjoy Saturday. Sunday not looking nearly as nice. The clouds roll back in, and we are anticipating some rain, although it'll be a fine line. I think right along the 401 corridor is as far north as this rain gets, and then that system moves towards Atlantic Canada as well. So there is your rain amount. Places like Cottage Country, Ottawa, Montreal, not expecting much. Meanwhile, Toronto right on that line, so 11 on Sunday with showers. 11 for Monday, partly cloudy, same thing on Tuesday, and then another system brings rain for Wednesday and Thursday. At least we're above freezing, and during the day, into the double digits above zero. In Montreal, it's cooler Sunday into Monday with that system, and then it warms back up. Here too, rain later next week, but for the weekend, Saturday, the better of the 2 weekend days. That's a check on your forecast.
I feel so good when I start my morning with Weber Naturals Most Complete Multi. Just one easy-to-swallow capsule provides the recommended daily vitamins that you might be missing. So you can feel good about your choice, too, with Weber Naturals Most Complete Multi.
I'm your mother-in-law, and I like to question your every move, like this left turn.
It's the next one.
You always drive this slow.
How did you make someone I love?
That must be why you're always so late.
I do not speed, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
You always drive like an old lady?
You're an old lady.
The next Lotto Max jackpot is a big one.
Wow. We gotta go buy it.
Just did.
On your...
Yep.
Wow.
It's true. You can buy lottery tickets online. Register at playolg.ca now.
Well, would you look at that?
What?
My winnings from last night's Lotto Max draw just showed up in my account.
Nice. Dave's buying.
Direct deposits. Another great reason to buy lottery tickets online. Register at playolg.ca now.
Together, we're making a difference to stop the spread of COVID-19. Continue to wash your hands frequently and practice physical distancing. Stay home, stay strong, save lives. Learn more at ontario.ca/coronavirus. Help stop the spread of COVID-19. Everyone who can needs to stay home. Don't put others at risk. COVID-19 can be deadly. Stop the spread. Stay at home. Learn more at ontario.ca/coronavirus.
Could you use $20,000, $30,000, or even $300,000? With a home equity loan from Capital Direct, the money that you could really use right now is a simple phone call away. Call 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL.
CapitalDirect.ca.
Joint pain can slow me down. With Weber Naturals glucosamine chondroitin, it's so much better. And when I used it every day, the pain went away. With Weber, it's better.
Try Canada's #1 selling joint care brand, Weber Naturals.
A small shop in Peterborough, Ontario is joining the fight against COVID-19. They are teaming up with New Canadian Women to make masks and other personal protection equipment for local hospitals. Katrina Squazin has more.
Sewn with Love by Newcomer Women. It's one of the mask designs that will be available to purchase on Watson & Lou's website beginning Thursday night. The Newcomer Women had already been donating their time over the past few weeks, making caps, headbands, and masks for PRHC.
It means a lot to these women. This opportunity came up, which is going to help them make a little bit of money and balance out, that giving back, as well as using those skills to transition into employment opportunities.
The project is a three-way partnership. The designs are first printed at Matterhouse Textile Studios. Then they are passed off to the sewers at the new Canadian Centre and sold through Watson & Lew.
It's one of our core missions is to be able to provide the community with things that we need and to help Peterborough be more self-sufficient and help money actually stay here locally.
And the partnership with the new Canadian Centre to make the masks was a natural fit. A few months ago, the newcomer women began working with Watson & Lew and Matterhouse to learn more about business and create a line of products for the store.
One of our goals is establishing strong partnerships where we can then depend on our partners to continue some of the work that we're doing. And what we've done here is exactly that.
What we have accomplished in these relationships is really outstanding in my opinion. It's deeply gratifying and meaningful work, not just for me, but for everyone else who's involved.
And there are some other options for masks. Another design reading, Netflix and no chills or fever.
We wanted to come up with some messaging that people could actually wear on their masks that was going to bring some levity to the situation, but also convey a serious message around the importance of physical distancing.
The masks can be purchased at watsonandlew.com. Since it is a small-scale operation, Watson & Lew will not be taking pre-orders or bulk orders. They will retail for $18 each. Katrina Squazin, Global News.
That's all for your headlines now. Thanks so much for making us a part of your day. For the latest news and information, head to our website, globalnews.ca, or you can always watch us on the Global TV app. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay home and stay safe.
The following program is available with described video.
Stay home. Stay safe.
Sparsely populated downtown scenes.
It's our new normal, yet there is absolutely nothing normal about any of this. But we can make the most of this time together.
What's going on, Canada? It's Morgan Wallen.
It's Mackenzie Porter.
It's Tim Hicks.
It's Guilherme Tanguy.
Join us, James Barker Band, for a special Canada Together music event.
Because whether you're Canadian or you're American, we are all united together during this pandemic and committed to doing our part to help those in need. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to my home. I'm Cheryl Hickey, and this is ET Canada Together in Concert. Presented by